Dr. Smith treated the patients. Okay, but which Dr. Smith? In which hospital? Treating exactly which condition? Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're diving into one of the absolute hardest and frankly most important problems in AI. It's called Named Entity Disambiguation, or NED. Basically, it's the art of teaching an AI to figure out exactly what we mean when we use our wonderfully messy human language, connecting a simple text mention to a concrete, real-world entity. Here's how we're going to break this down today. First, the problem of ambiguity. Then, what makes NED so incredibly hard. Next, how LLMs actually disambiguate these entities. After that, we'll look at a real-world medical case with Soho, show you how to build the knowledge graph, and finally, how all this unlocks real knowledge discovery.
All right, part one, the problem of ambiguity. So, let's go back to that sentence. Dr. Smith treated the patient. We humans, we read this and just naturally fill in the blanks using context. If you're looking at a cardiology report from Memorial Hospital, you know exactly which Dr. Smith we're talking about. But in AI, initially, it is totally blind. To a computer, that's just a string of characters. It has literally no idea who Dr. Smith is, where they are, or what on earth they're doing.
And that brings us to the root of the problem, polysemy. It's a fancy word, but it just means having multiple possible meanings for a single word or phrase. Take the word apple. Are we talking about the fruit you put in a pie, or are we talking about the trillion-dollar tech giant in Cupertino? This kind of overlapping meaning is exactly what trips up basic language models. They need a reliable way to pin down the actual real-world thing we're talking about. Now, you might be thinking, doesn't named entity recognition solve this? Well, not quite. NER, named entity recognition, just finds the puzzle piece. It looks at the text and says, hey, Lawrence is a person. But which Lawrence? Lawrence of Arabia? D.H. Lawrence? That is where NED, named entity disambiguation, steps in. NED is the missing link. It takes that mention and explicitly locks it onto a canonical entity in a knowledge base. It knows that in this specific document, Lawrence means Ernest O. Lawrence, the physicist who invented the cyclotron. It knows exactly where that puzzle piece belongs in the final picture.
Moving on to section 2, what makes NED hard?
Getting from a surface-level mention to that one true canonical entity is no walk in the park. First off, as we just saw, polysemy is literally everywhere. Second, you've got obscure abbreviations and weird nicknames. In an old document, WW might mean the scientist Warren Weaver, but an AI just sees 2 capital letters. Third, you run into highly specific domain terminology, like complex gene names or drug synonyms. And finally, think about legacy or historical texts. There are no helpful hyperlinks or structured data baked in. The AI has to rely entirely on the surrounding words to figure out the context. To fix this total lack of context, we give the AI a reference point, a knowledge base. Take a look at this. This is an entry from the Unified Medical Language System, or UMLS. It explicitly defines something like the Zika virus, with a unique ID and clear semantic types. A rich domain ontology like this gives the AI an exact, unambiguous definition to work with. It acts as the ultimate source of truth.
Section 3, how LLMs disambiguate entities.
Traditional systems kind of choke on this complex reasoning, but large language models, they're a game changer here. We use a 3-step architecture. Step 1, candidate selection. The system does a search against our ontology and pulls a list of plausible matches. If the text says Zika, candidates could be Zika virus, Zika fever, or maybe congenital Zika virus infection. Step 2, candidate ranking. This is where the LLM does its magic. It analyzes the surrounding text and scores each option to see which one makes the most logical sense. And step 3, ontology integration. The system picks the winner and permanently links that raw text directly to the enriched structured entity. Real quick on the tech stack, though. You could totally use those massive cloud API LLMs for this, but sending highly sensitive medical or financial data over the open internet, yeah, that can easily violate strict data privacy laws. So the privacy-safe alternative is using self-hosted open LLMs like Llama 3.1AB. You might see a tiny dip in baseline accuracy compared to the giant cloud models, but you get total data compliance because it all stays in-house. Plus, because that domain ontology is guiding the LLM and limiting its choices, it actually makes up for any potential accuracy drop anyway.
All right, section 4. Let's look at a real-world example, the Soho medical case.
SO stands for substances of human origin. We're talking about blood, tissues, cells, and organs that are used in critical medical therapies and transplants.
When you're analyzing policy documents, strict regulations, and medical reports about these human substances, absolute precision isn't just a nice bonus. It is incredibly critical. And this brings us face to face with the synonym challenge. Clinical documents are notoriously messy. You'll have different doctors using completely different terms across thousands of pages. You might see HbA1c, glycated hemoglobin, glycosylated hemoglobin, and just A1C. But here's the crazy part. They're all talking about the exact same biomarker. If your AI doesn't realize that, your database is going to be an absolute disaster of duplicates. We urgently need our NED pipeline to map all those wild variations back to one single true canonical medical entity. Which brings us to Section 5, Building the Knowledge Graph. To actually turn a mountain of messy documents into a reliable knowledge engine, we follow 5 steps. 1, we define our schema, creating categories like substance, condition, and procedure. 2, we ingest and process all that raw text. 3, and this is where the magic happens, we run our NED pipeline to disambiguate the medical entities, locking them to a standard ontology like SNOMED CT. 4, we load those ontologies directly into the graph. And 5, we generate entity co-occurrences to see exactly which substances keep popping up next to which conditions. When you visualize that architecture, it's pretty incredible. Unstructured text files get processed into entity mentions. Those mentions, all that messy, ambiguous language, get pushed through a disambiguation pathway until they lock firmly onto unified medical entity nodes. The whole system basically neutralizes the synonym challenge entirely, anchoring every single text variation to one undeniable point of truth. And finally, Section 6, Unlocking Knowledge Discovery. Because we put in all this grueling work up front with disambiguation, we unlock some serious analytical superpowers on the back end. First, conceptual search. You can search for type 2 diabetes, and the system will pull up documents that only ever say T2DM, because the graph knows they're the exact same concept. We also get structured search, combining complex graph connections with standard keyword queries. We get KG-based interpretability, meaning we can visually trace the exact path the AI took to make a recommendation. And best of all, knowledge discovery. We can actually find hidden, unexpected connections between medical conditions and substances that humans might have completely overlooked. So if you take nothing else away from this explainer, remember this. Named entity disambiguation is the absolute bridge between raw text and a trustworthy knowledge graph. Without it, your graph is just going to be a mess of duplicates and noise. But with it, you've just built a rock-solid, incredible foundation for enterprise AI. We've managed to take the absolute chaos of human language and turn it into highly precise, structured data using LLMs and domain ontologies. But, of course, that just opens the door to an even bigger question. Now that we have this flawlessly disambiguated graph sitting there, how do we run advanced machine learning directly on top of this structured data? That is an entirely new frontier, and it's definitely something to chew on as you start designing your own AI systems. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and keep exploring.